Martin.
Hello, Abhijeet.
Welcome and good to have you in this conversation.
Good to be here.
First, I wish to know something about your journey and also what brings you and Surya Charge here in India.
My name is Mesmer. I'm from the US. I grew up in Germany, and I've been in solar for 33 years. So I know a little bit about the solar industry, batteries, and now EV charging. We've already designed systems in the United States. I've designed solar power plants in Japan, in the US, and now here. And we are now designing EV charging stations powered by the sun in India. And the reason I'm here is to help India transition from a gasoline industry or automotive industry to EVs.
And what brings Surya Charge to India Energy Week?
Well, networking is the key for a startup. And as such, this is a great place to network. And with NHEV's help, we can...
What do you feel about this vibe that globally, when everyone speaks about mothers of all deal, India is positioning itself as a very strong contender of being the hosting country of a transition that globe is waiting for. Mobility is in India contributing around 17% of its carbon emission. And as a complex economy, many countries in the different parts of the globe are looking for an economy which shows them a way how to transit from a fossil fuel economy to a green economy. Our Prime Minister yesterday in the beginning of this inaugural ceremony spoke about $500 billion opportunity that India is placing on the global platform. How do you look at it and where do you find Surya Charge with National Highway Electric Vehicle giving and contributing something to it?
Comparing India globally, what's interesting to note is that much of the energy mix today is still from coal, and that's very carbon intensive. So transitioning to electric vehicles is one part of the equation. The other part of the equation has to be to move your power supply from fossil fuels to renewables. And one way to start is to have EV charging stations that are powered by solar power.
So most of the places, when you look at decarbonization of surface mobility, hardly any large level decarbonization which is powered by solar, renewable, wind, hydrogen, or maybe nuclear. Your experience in terms of developing heavyweight, I can say megawatt charging in America, and then you're looking at India's transition from 5,500 kilometers that under NHEV. What is those 3-4 things that you think are going to change the game, particularly from the solar and also from the renewable integrations? Your take on that?
Slight correction. I'm actually now in gigawatt territory. If you look at my experience in solar power plants. And I think that's where India should go. Okay, especially in places like Gujarat, Rajasthan, where you have space and sunshine, as well as in higher elevations in the northern part of the country. So renewables are very location specific, and I think that solar bodes well in the locations that I just mentioned, as well as others. Creating the power lines that actually bring those electrons from those regions to the industry hubs is key. That was one of the bottlenecks we're now experiencing in the United States. Germany has gone through that a little bit earlier on. Japan certainly has that problem now. Nobody feels the pain as much as the Americans. The power grid is something that has to be created in preparation for what is to come. That's number one. Number two, large-scale power plants. Look at China, how much they're building out in nowhere land, where they're just covering square kilometers of area with solar panels. So that's number two. Number three is assuring that the energy mix, as it changes to more renewables, is actually then applied to, for example, the automotive industry, and that means the electrification of everything. Another problem you will face, which the US is already facing, is data centers. And you're now seeing countries like Saudi Arabia and United Emirates preparing very large-scale solar power plants in the desert. That's an ideal use of this.
I have a small follow-up question. In the last working group meeting of National Highway EV, we debated between two alternatives, whether the 3G energy station of National Highway EV should have on-site rooftop solar in panels and energy, or it should go for solar power taken from some other location. The answer came is like hybrid. Both of them, it should be a combination.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
I agree with that. When you have an EV charging station, and we're currently building one in the desert of Arizona where we have 60 acres. And even that's not enough because we're charging trucks and cars. So that's a large station. If you want to charge only with electricity from the sun or a hybrid of wind and solar, or just renewables in general, space is going to be one of your constraints. Okay. And therefore, if you do only, let's say, 1 acre and you have 40 charges, the math doesn't add up. You need to have a hybrid.
Okay, question from industry is, what is the difference that you are seeing? You have spent some good time, you have also incorporated the company in India, is between American market for solar and the installation, EPC, construction and all, and in India, when you look at Indian companies who are doing well on solar park, but in mobility or in hybrid, what is the 2-3 differences which you have seen? And is there any recommendation for participating companies which are from solar industry in energy?
That's a tough one. So that was actually part of what we were trying to find out here at this conference. For us, some of the key rules, we have 3 guiding principles: ethics, integrity, and a win-win. So we want to create a win-win with the partners that we approach. And we're finding that, for example, the Tata Group has a very ethical approach to business. At least that's my impression. Okay. On top of that, we are looking to be a little bit outstanding because we are a women-owned company. So I'm just a CTO. My CEO is over here, Lipika. So it's having some kind of a niche is good for startups. And there's different rules that apply to startups versus large conglomerates, obviously. But when it gets to business in general, having the long-term benefit in mind of your client has proven, not just in India, to be a very good business model.
So that gives us some heads up about that there are much more interactions of Indian companies yet to happen with you. We wish you all the best for your upcoming interaction into next 3 days, because India Energy Week has almost representation from all large international and government agencies which are working around the energy securities transition and also the oil, gas and other parts of it. We wish your team to join on this conversation because we want your Indian officials also to be part of the conversation. If you will be able to call your CEO to join us on the stage on the podcast. Hi, good to have you, Lipika. I wish to know your experience and your initial aims that which you have incorporated Surya Charge, and also in next 1 year, what are you seeing from India Energy Week 2026 to 2027?
Hi everyone, this is Lipika. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Surya Charge. So we are a company who's looking forward to move towards clean mobility, and by doing that, we are building solar-powered EV charging stations and supporting with our solar consultancy for utility-scale solar power plants. So in the upcoming 1 year, we're looking forward to partnering with CPOs and companies with charging infrastructure and OEMs to help with the sustainable growth of India. We want to support with providing our solar consultancy and solar technical aspect towards solarizing all the charging stations in India. By that, we are off-grid and helping the world to be towards green energy.
Thank you, Lipika. Thank you, Mr. Martin, to have you here, and we wish you all the best for this year, and also whatever conversation you are going to have in this 1 year is going to turn into action by 2027. So see you again in India Energy Week 2027. Thank you and namaste.